There are just forces in the society, pendulum swinging left to right, and right now it's swung to the far left. And unfortunately, there's crazies on either side. So that's the way I think it's working out right now.
Sarah Stock from Rebel News on the ground in Yonge Dundas Square, which is soon to be renamed Sankofa Square. Now, this year's 2024 Paris Olympics has seen a lot of controversy. It kicked off with a bizarre opening ceremony with a bunch of transgenders and drag queens trying to recreate the Christian painting of the Last Supper. And just last Thursday, we saw Algeria's Iman Khalif hit Italy's Angelina Carini so bad that she had to quit the boxing ring just after seconds, saying that she had a broken nose and that she had never hit that hard before. Now, this fight has reignited the debate about men and women's sports because although Iman Khalif says that he never identified as transgender or intersex, he happened to fail a gender test just last year and was disqualified from the International Boxing Association. And today we're going to ask Canadians what they think. Should biological males be able to compete with women even at the highest level at the Olympics? And if so, why do they not have a competitive advantage that is so obvious and oftentimes dangerous? Let's go find out what they think. I mean, do you think that's fair? Do you think that should have been allowed?
I don't think that's fair because obviously it's just different categories. Like there's a reason it was all separate in the first place, right? People who competing, they're down to do it. Let's give it, because we had that in UFC or I don't know, WWE. I know WWE is not an official sport, but I know we had that instances before. But in terms of like Olympics, I don't think it should be happening.
Do you think that people with male genetics should be able to compete in the women's category in sports, things like boxing?
No, not at all. Not at all, yeah.
I don't think so, no.
How come?
I just feel like, I don't know, like, it's just unfair. Like, it's just genetics. Like, I don't know if it's fair to them, especially if they're competing in women's. Like, they want to face a woman, so I just think it's unfair.
I mean, so from my understanding, the Olympic boxer is from Algeria, where it is illegal and it's a crime to be queer or transgender. So, and everybody's sharing that it's, that she was born a female. So I'm gonna trust that. All I know is it's been blown out of proportion.
I don't know. I just believe you should be okay with how you was created and just stick with that. And if you feel otherwise, but to join sports, it's just unfair for a man to go against a woman. Yeah.
So men are like 10 times stronger than women, so on an average. So I feel, safety can be an issue, but like with proper skills and techniques, I feel that could be battled.
So you would be okay with it as long as the women were trained properly, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think it's okay.
I think it should be allowed. Fair. No.
No.
Sorry, like women and men were built differently. We are, whether, just because you change
it's
parts,
okay to
still
identify
built
however you
different.
are, but I think just when it comes to Olympics, it's like there is like a genetic difference. So there is an unfair advantage. Like you're built
It's like with the
for
Leah Thomas swimming
Yeah.
situation. It's just not. I don't think it's fair.
What do you guys think? We as a society, we've allowed this to happen where it's gone all the way up to the international level at the Olympics.
Too much. It's definitely too
Everyone's
much.
too scared of offending anyone, and it's like like everyone wants acceptance, everyone wants equality, but it's like my mom likes to describe it as like a pendulum that's swinging. It's gone like too far in one direction now, and it needs to like find its balance again, like that equilibrium.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was explaining it to her.
We're trying to be too nice to them. I mean, I have nothing against transsexuals, but it's unfair. It's unfair for the ladies.
It's unreal. I don't know what to say about that. And it's disgusting.
Naturally, a man is a man, a woman is a woman. If they want to do that, then they should create a whole transgender sports for them, where trans men can compete against trans women if they want, or anyone who wants to compete against them can go ahead.
I think it's just a reflection of how society is unfortunately working nowadays, and that it's very difficult to be vocal on certain issues that you don't necessarily agree with.
It's still up to them to withdraw from those competitions, right? No one is being forced to do anything. It's all like within us, like to make this decision still.
Yes, and I don't think that's right. It's obviously a physical mismatch that should not be permitted.
Why do you think that we as a society have allowed this to happen to the point that it's been brought to the international level?
It's just an ongoing debate, I suppose. There are just forces in the society, things, pendulum swinging left to right, and right now it's swung to the far left. And unfortunately, there's crazies on either side, so that's the way I think it's working out right now.
Yes, but it's not a male, it's a she.
Well, she has failed a chromosome test in the past, so.
Well, they say she was born female, said as female, her passport, everything, that she's female.
Do you think of someone, you know, their passport says female, but if they failed a biology test, so they're found to have XY chromosomes?
No, I don't think. Now, I haven't heard that she failed about chromosomes. I know that there's some women have, just like men can have lower, some men have lower and some have higher levels of testosterone. And just as us females, women can have lower, some have higher levels of estrogen. And that as women, we also have testosterone. That there are some women who have a higher level, a naturally occurring higher level of testosterone. How you going to penalize them for that? That's natural. And our bus is here, sorry.
Okay. I'm not sure, but so this person was disqualified from the International Boxing Association just last year because they said she failed the requirements.
The requirement, from my understanding, was though that she had a higher level than naturally occurring testosterone.
Okay, well, that's not what it said that's not what the International Boxing Association said. They said it wasn't a testosterone test.
Okay, well, I'm not sure on that part of it. I know what I've been hearing and reading and seeing so far.
The whole woke movement and community, they're not woke. They're asleep, right? They're not thinking logically, and they're using a situation like that to allow men to hit women. It's the most pathetic thing I've ever heard of in my life. And the more society allows this to continue, you're going to see more pushback from people like me and others who just feel it's pathetic. It's disgusting, and it should never occur, right?
Why do you think we let it get to this point where it's now at the international level too? What happened to society?
People are afraid to stand up for what they believe in, I think, now. And when people start doing things that are so against the norm of societal rules, everything's to be accepted now, right? There's no rules, no standards. People break laws left, right, and center and get away with blue bloody murder. It's ridiculous. And it's spread into every part of our society, and it should be stopped.
I mean, there's no logic behind it. I don't know. I don't think half the population knows why it's happening, you know? So I really don't understand what's going on or why it's becoming acceptable.
You think like the average person thinks this is normal or okay?
No. I'm not from Toronto, I'm from British Columbia, and I've spoken to so many people down here that automatically bring up that they don't like the way Canada is going, you know? And it shocked me in Toronto. I thought it would be very, very liberal, and it's not. Yeah, so that was surprising for me.
Well, we spoke with a lot of different people here today in Yonge Dundas Square. A lot of them were actually from all over the world, so we got a variety of opinions. It seemed like even though many people were opposed to the idea, some of them were kind of scared to say it. And we heard from other people that the reason the idea that men competing in women's sports has gotten this far is because a lot of times people are scared to say what's right. If you want to keep men out of women's sports, you can actually get one of our t-shirts that says "Keep Human Balls Out of Women's Sports" right over at rebelnewsstore.com.